On January 24th into the 25th of 2004, James Davis, age 21, went to a party at the Masonic Temple in Brooklyn. James went with his friends to celebrate his brother, Daniel's, birthday. James got drunk at the party and threw up in the bathroom while his friends stood outside the stall laughing. Around 2:30 a.m., he left and took a cab to meet his girlfriend, KANEEN Johnson. They spent the night at her aunt's home on Herkimer Street in Brooklyn. Meanwhile, around 4 a.m., a fight broke out at the party. James's friend, JAMEL Black, got stabbed. 3 other people were shot, including Blake Harper, 21, who died at the scene. Detective Matthew Hutchinson from the 75th Precinct was assigned to the case. Later that day, he spoke to 21-year-old Tina Black, Jamel's sister. Tina did not attend the party. Nevertheless, she told police James Davis was the shooter. Years later, Tina's mother revealed Tina confessed that she lied to police because she was in love with James and angry he was involved with another girl. From that point on, detectives focused their investigation on James Davis. 3 people picked him out of a lineup, but only one could make a positive identification in court. In 2005 to 2006, James was tried twice and ultimately convicted of Blake Harper's murder. His girlfriend testified as an alibi witness, and the first trial ended with a hung jury. But then they broke up. At the second trial, no one testified on his behalf. Since his conviction, James has worked with his attorneys at the Legal Aid Society to find witnesses who saw him leave the party before Blake Harper was shot. Ultimately, 6 people came forward and spoke to the Kings County District Attorney's Conviction Review Unit on James's behalf. KANEEN Johnson, Tina Black Sr., JAMEL Black, Corey Hines, ISHMAEL AVENT, and Junior Watkins. These are excerpts from their interviews. Tina Black died on September 24th of 2013. Her mother, Tina Black Sr., was interviewed by the District Attorney's Office on December 20th, 2016.
Are you familiar that there was a shooting incident on January 25th, 2004 at the Masonic Temple?
The only thing I know is that I got a call early in the morning stating that my son Jamel was very serious injured and they was taking him to Kings County Hospital.
Now, your daughter Tina, was she there that night?
No.
How did it come to be that, like, were you talking to her about this, or if she wasn't there, what happened? Did you start talking to her about it, or what?
My daughter, let me tell you something. My daughter was in love with Jay.
Okay.
All right? She loved herself some Jay, and I don't know about what was going on around in the neighborhood.
Okay.
I don't know, but she was in love with Jay.
Okay.
So I don't even know how it come to her that Jay was even a suspect. You understand me? I don't even know how the police came to speak to her.
Okay.
But then she had told me, she was like, Mommy. I was like, what? And she said that, did you hear that Jay was supposed to have killed whoever? And I was like, no. And she said, she told the police that Jay did it. And I was like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Did he really do it? And she said no. She was pissed off at him because he was messing with somebody else. But I told her she didn't have no reason to lie about nothing. She wasn't there. She don't know what happened. And you know what he say, she say, can get a lot of people hurt.
Right.
Can get a lot of people killed.
Right. Now, did she say that she didn't, she just gave his name, or did she just didn't know that whether or not he did it, but she was giving his name anyway?
She said she was pissed off at him because he kicked her to the curb like an old boot. And I was like, Titi, if he didn't do it, why would you even put his name in something like that? And she was like, oh, Ma, just get out my face. I don't want to talk.
Now, You knowing this, that a potentially innocent person could go to jail, you didn't want to come forward?
Let me tell you, I don't even know whether she figured that they was gonna pick him up or whether it was gonna stick or not. Just like I said, if it ain't got nothing to do with me, I don't get involved.
Right.
You understand me? But you know what? I know Jay for a long time. And I know him. And for him to not have did this, and he been in jail for a long time. And my daughter's dead.
I know.
You understand me? She can't take back what she said because she's not here.
Right.
You understand me?
Yes.
But I feel sorry for him being behind bars if he didn't do it. But she told me that she had lied to the police and said that he did it. I don't know whether she figured that they was gonna lock him up or whatever. Do you understand me?
I understand, yes.
But I really can't even, I said to myself, my daughter, she wasn't there. Why would the cops or the police question her?
I do know that she did show up to the precinct that night, that they were bringing everybody in. Maybe because her brothers were there, you know.
And what precinct was this?
I think it was 7-5. Now, you seemed pretty upset about the whole thing with Tina and that she lied, or if she lied. How come you never decided to come forward before, like today, let's say? It seems that it was bothering you.
You want to know why?
Yes.
Because that's my daughter, and by her lying, would she be getting in trouble? She was already sick and half dead.
Right.
You understand me? She died 3 years ago. My daughter was 30 years old when she died. She needed a kidney. She needed a liver. She had congestive heart failure. She was going blind. She could barely walk. What, would y'all pick up and put her in jail?
What I'm just asking you is, if she died 3 years ago, there are 3 years' time for you to come forward and speak to the police.
Why?
To clear Jay's name, if this is bothering you so much. I'm just asking. I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just asking.
Listen. Just like I said, I wasn't there. She told me. She said she lied. You understand me?
Yes.
She said she lied. But how am I supposed to know? What am I? I'm supposed to find you? What? I'm supposed to go out my way to knock myself out to go find somebody?
So this is the thing. We believe that the police, the only way they got to Jay as a suspect is because of Tina. Because in all the police paperwork and everything, the only indication that we have that they even had Jay's name was from Tina. That's why that's the only reason why I'm asking you. Okay.
And just like I said, that was my daughter. I had nothing to do with it. Before she died, she shouldn't have lied. And she was like, Mommy, I'm sorry. You understand me? And I asked her, if you lied, why don't you go and try to do something about it? You understand me?
Yes.
I don't even know whether she knew that she was going to die before she could get to do anything. You understand me?
I understand. Okay.
Because I guess if she figured that she could took everything back, she would have. I don't know if he didn't do it. I really hope that y'all can let him come home and be with his grandmother and his family while he still have family left. That's all. I hope.
Basically, I brought you in here because I believe you were James Davis's fiance back in 2000.
I was.
Okay, so if you could just tell me what, if anything, you remember from January 24th and the morning of January 25th.
Okay, basically, the day, the 24th, James Davis was with me. He was supposed to go to, I believe, this particular party.
Okay. Do you remember telling the court that actually you were with James all day until about 6 o'clock and then he was going to this party?
He was supposed to, and I believe we got into an argument because I didn't want him to go. For some reason, I just didn't want him to go.
Right. And he actually, well, this is what you testified to, that you actually got a phone call from him from the party. And he told you to meet him outside? Do you remember any of this?
I remember coming outside to get him out the cab.
Okay.
Like, I remember that. I remember going outside. I remember it being cold. And I remember him getting out of a cab, and he was just out of it. Like, he was just...
When you say out of it, what do you mean?
Like, throwing up, and he was sick, and he was smelling like liquor. I figured he was drunk. I remember him calling me saying he was coming, and I remember I had to meet him at the cab because he was sick. He was drunk.
Okay, and after you said you came out and you met him, and then what happened?
We went to my aunt's house.
Okay.
And that's where we stayed for the night.
Okay, and do you remember if he was sick when he came out of the cab?
I recall, yes, him being sick when he got out the cab.
Okay, and when you say he was sick, like what did you notice?
Throwing up. That
throwing
was
up on the
clear
street?
knowledge.
Okay.
Like, as soon as he literally was throwing up all outside.
Okay. And then you got to your aunt's house, and then what happened?
That's all I could recall. I mean, that was it. I
he
never
still
went
sick
out,
at your aunt's
laid
house?
down, went to sleep. I remember him throwing up a couple of times in the bathroom. He laid down, he went to sleep, and that was it. And that's how we found out. I remember us going to the neighborhood, and it was just like a big thing. Somebody got killed, a couple of people got shot. And that's when I said, this is why. This is why. It's like it's like you have a funny feeling. And that's why I didn't want him in that party.
And how soon after this do you remember when James was arrested?
Maybe a month or so, maybe 2 months.
And after you heard he was arrested for murder, did you call the police or anything? Did you get in contact with anybody?
No, why would I call the police?
If you were with him all night, then you knew he couldn't have done this, and then...
No, he not gonna tell me to go call the police or anything like that. All I remember was speaking to a lawyer. One of his lawyers, I guess.
Was that right before trial?
No, it was prior to the trial. I guess when they were getting whatever things together, I spoke to a lawyer, and then someone else called me, but it wasn't his lawyer. It was like either a detective or a DA. And like they were kind of being very funny with me at the time, like saying, if you lie, you're gonna go to jail, but it wasn't his people. It was from the other side. But they never really specified who they were. So it was kind of like a threat. So I believe they were like trying to threaten me to scare me off from testifying for him.
Right.
But it was no need for me to be scared. So we went with plan as planned.
You just don't remember though what time
he
came to your house that night or anything, right?
The time is just the only thing that messed me up. But I know it was before 1 and 2 in the morning. It was way before that.
Do you remember also how he wore his hair from the night?
He had a low cut at that time.
Was it low cornrows or was it like a shave?
Like a Caesar.
That night.
Because I remember him prior to that having some type of wingworms, and it was all through his hair. Somebody braided his. He had braids. And I remember him having a wingworm, and he had to cut his hair.
Did you at some point, at any point after this happened, have any bad feelings or resentment towards him at all?
No. I mean, I still love him. That's one of my best friends. We were very close at the time. But I can't do 20 years with you. Like, I can't do it.
I hear ya.
I just want to talk to you about the events that happened at the Masonic Temple birthday party.
I know it was Daniel's birthday.
Daniel who?
Daniel Davis. That's James' little brother. I went to the bar after I got the little shot. That's when I seen Junior. He told me, yo, listen, they in the bathroom smoking.
Okay, so you guys are all smoking weed. You're in there about 40 minutes.
Yeah, we was chilling.
Okay.
That's when Daniel got a call. He said, yo, my brother's on his way. So me and Daniel, we both left out the bathroom. Now, when Daniel left out the bathroom, I went and I sat on the bench. That's when I ran into Tage. Well, we call him Tay, but I know him as Tage. He lived on my grandmother block too. He asked me if I had some weed. I said, yo, they in the bathroom smoking right now. That's when he said, yo, you know I don't fuck with niggas from the projects because he be chilling on Rockaway. Now, I mean, he sell a little bit of drugs, but he be chilling on Rockaway with the people in Rockaway. So I rolled up some backwood, Now I mean, we was smoking and all that. Then that's when my brother came. He like, yo, Jay want to talk to you. I said, all right, tell him I'll be there in a minute.
Okay.
So I went in the bathroom. They was in there laughing and all that. So I'm like, yo, what's so funny? Know what I mean? So they was like, yo, this nigga Jay, that nigga in the store, he throwing up and all that. So he came out the store. He tried to give me a 5. I gave him a fish. You feel what I'm saying? He told me, he was like, yo, you need to stop acting like a little bitch. He was like, yo, how long you gonna be mad at me? Know what I mean? You supposed to be my friend. I said, friends don't fuck each other, girl. Know what I mean? So after that, I washed my hands and I walked out. So I was dancing. My brother came to me. He was like, yo, Jay, they about to leave. He wants you and Daniel to walk with him into the car. Me, Daniel, and Jay, we goes out the club and all that. He was like, listen, nigga, stop acting like a bitch, nigga. Get over it and let's move forward. So I got tight. I pushed him. He tried to swing on me. We was about to start fighting. Daniel, he jumped in the middle of us. He was like, yo, just go back in the club.
And do you remember what condition James was in at the time?
He was drunk. So I'm like, all right, cool. I go back inside. After I got myself together, I started dancing. They had called last call on the liquor.
What time would they call last call? Do you remember what time that was?
Probably like a little after 2 o'clock. So I don't know where my brother was at, but he came to me. He was like, yo, let me get some money for some more wet.
You bought it? You bought the bottle of Moet?
No, I gave him the money to buy it. So I go back towards the back. And this when I see my brother, he looked like he was arguing with 2 dudes. He was like, nah, the nigga snatched the bottle from me, this and the third. Now, he was pointing at this Puerto Rican individual. You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, he snatched the bottle from you. He was like, yo, fam, you ain't got nothing to do with this, so I tried to snatch the bottle. He pushed me, know what I mean? And now, the black dude that was with him, he tell me, yo, y'all better break out. You feel what I'm saying? But the club promoter, he grabbed me like, yo, what's up? My brother, he told him what happened. He was like, yo, listen, it ain't gonna be nothing inside this club. This and the third is about to be over. I'm gonna replace the bottle.
Okay.
So I told my brother, I'm like, yo, you go get the bottle. Know what I mean? I'm gonna go to the bathroom. We was in the bathroom.
Okay.
My brother came. I told him like, yo, listen, I'm about to break out this and the third. So I went towards the coat rack. Then when I got to the coat rack, the girl, I gave her the ticket. So when I gave her the ticket, she had brought me back the wrong jacket.
Okay.
I tell her, yo, this ain't mine. You feel what I'm saying? So she had told me to hold on. Know what I mean? So I was waiting for her to come back. Next thing you know, I hear him say, what, you thought this was over? And I just feel a pain. So when I try to turn around, I see somebody going back towards the back of the club.
Okay.
So,
did you see who it was?
no, first, when I went to turn around, I just seen the black dude going back to
The black dude that you initially had the argument
Yeah.
with. Okay. You see him towards the back side.
I felt the pain.
Okay.
So I turned around, I see him going back towards the back. So I went to go follow him. That's when my stomach, I can't even describe the pain that I was feeling. I know I started going back to the bathroom and I was looking for my brother. That's when I ran into Taji. And I was like, yo, the motherfucker just stabbed me. He's like, yo, so, nigga, I'm gonna take you to the hospital. Next thing you know, I heard him say, oh shit. And he had pushed me. So when he pushed me, I fell on the floor. That's when I heard the gunshots. So I'm like, oh shit, I ain't know what was going on, but I heard the gunshots and all that. Like,
How many shots?
I think I heard like between 4, 5, or 6. I ain't sure, but I know it was more than 3. So after the shot stopped, I turned around in the direction that Tay was in when he pushed me. That's when I seen him. He was sticking a little silver gun inside his pocket. You feel
Who's
what I'm
that,
saying?
Teji?
Yeah. So
Did you see him do the shooting?
I ain't see him do the shooting, but I know when I turned around, I seen him putting the little gun inside his pocket. Small
Was it a revolver? It was
yeah,
a revolver.
A revolver.
Okay. And it was little, right?
Yeah. I see him putting the little gun in his pocket. He run to me. He was like, yo, you gonna be all right. I gotta get out of here before the cops come. You know, I get up off the floor. Everybody running to the exit and all that. So when I get outside, that's when I see Daniel got to the projects. The grandmoms come out, and he was like, yo, JAMEL got stabbed. She went inside, she called the ambulance for me.
What hospital did you go to?
I went to Kings County. My mom, she asked me what happened. I told her what happened, this, that, and the third. Know what I mean? She told me, she was like, yo, while you was sleeping, the detectives came because they wanted to speak to you.
What did you tell them? You told them what you saw that day, or
Yeah, no, that's what I told him. What I just now told y'all.
Taji and everything?
So I told him all that. So, cause he asked me, he was like, "Yo, you know where Taji live?" I ain't gonna lie. I told him, nah, I ain't know where he lived. You feel what I'm saying? Because at that time, I wasn't I wasn't thinking about telling on him because he probably person that saved my life. You feel what I'm saying? So
right.
Did you mention his name that with this revolver that you saw?
No, the only thing I said Tay. That's the only thing I said.
You said Tay.
Yeah, because.
But did you tell him the story about the shooting? Gun?
Nah, I told him all that.
Okay, now did the DA's office ever contact him?
No.
Okay. Do you ever see that black guy again that stabbed you?
Which black guy?
The one that you think stabbed you.
No, I seen them when I turned around. I seen them on the floor, and he had a knife next to him. And
was he the dead guy?
Yeah.
The black guy was the dead.
Yeah.
The guy who you think stabbed you.
That's who was laying on the floor, and he had a knife next to him.
That's the guy that was shot?
Yeah.
And how do you know James Davis?
I know him from the streets. He ain't never do that situation. He left. I was there when everything took place. He left way before that shooting took place because I was still in there.
So what were you doing all night? You got there at 10. What were you doing?
Just chilling, dancing. Somebody I know had got stabbed.
Who?
JAMEL Black, he had got stabbed.
How do you know him?
That's a friend of mine too. He got stabbed and a bunch of people was screaming and stuff like that trying to help him. And then next thing you know, but before that took place though, James Davis was gone.
Okay. How do you know he was gone?
I seen him when he left.
Okay.
It was him and a couple other dudes that had left.
Okay, why'd they leave?
He wasn't feeling good. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. He wasn't feeling good the time he came there anyway. So he left. He left and a couple other dudes left. Okay. I still was there partying with the females. You heard? But then somebody told me, yo, JAMEL got stabbed. And then by the time I got over there, somebody was shooting.
So if James is not feeling well, was Daniel taking care of him?
Daniel was there with me.
Okay.
He was having fun too, but he was throwing up. His brother was throwing up. He wasn't had to go to the hospital or nothing like that, but he wasn't feeling good, so he left.
But let me ask you, if he's throwing up, anybody taking care of him? Was anybody standing with him?
Dudes asked him, is he alright? He said he was alright and he left. I know that he wasn't feeling good and he was throwing up and he left before everything happened. That's what I know. Before everything occurred, he been left.
Do you have any idea what time that is or no?
I think I put it on there 2 something.
Okay. So James leaves the party. You're still
left the party before that.
You're still after James left.
Yeah, I'm still there.
Okay. Tell me what happens. You all of a sudden hear shots.
I was over there by the bar. So I was dancing. Then I went over there by the bar with JAMEL. And next thing you know, they say he got stabbed. He said he got stabbed.
That was JAMEL. So you see people helping JAMEL out, right? Do you see this or you hear about it?
No, I'm right there. I'm by the bar.
Okay.
Across from the bar. Next thing you know, after they got him up out of there, shots went off.
Where do you hear the shots coming from?
The shots right by the bar.
And what do you...
I went straight to...
What'd you see? You looked. What'd you see?
I seen the guy that I mentioned.
What's his name?
Tay.
Okay.
Okay.
How do you know him?
I know him from the town.
What town?
Brooklyn. That's from the area where I hang at. I know him for a while. Probably like 3 years.
And you hear shots. You say you look up, and what do you see exactly?
I told you, I see the dude Tate doing the shooting.
When you say doing the shooting, what does that mean?
Shooting his gun.
Did you see anything in his hands?
Yeah, I seen him shooting a gun.
Do you have any idea why he would be shooting?
Nah, I don't know, man, because arguments broke out, though.
When your friend was arrested for this,
yeah.
Okay, did anybody come to you and ask for your help as an alibi witness?
Nah, we didn't know about this. We didn't know about the law. We were 17 years old.
I understand all
His
that.
lawyer didn't come to you or anything like that?
Nah, listen, James Davis is a peaceful guy. He keep people out of trouble. He ain't with none of that trouble. When I was in trouble, he helped me. If I needed to eat, he helped me. He give me his last, you know what I'm saying? He not like that. How the way they portray him to be a murderer, he's not. That's not him. Everybody love him. That's why I told you, if we would have knew about how serious this situation would have been, we would have stepped up to the plate. But like I said, we was young. We don't know nothing about the law. I didn't know nothing about nothing. I couldn't barely read.
So what I'm asking you is, this guy Tay, what do you know him to be like? What's his reputation?
He's somebody in the neighborhood. when I was out there.
Was he out there committing crime? Was he out there beating people up? I don't know him.
He out there committing crime. He did the shooting.
So let's go back to the club. Find out JAMEL stabbed, and then all of a sudden you hear shots. And you look, and you see Tay standing there with the gun. Is that what you're telling us? Okay. And you don't remember how many shots he's fired?
No, I don't remember how many shots he fired.
Okay, do you remember exactly?
It was loud music on. The music was real loud.
Do you remember exactly how, where he was standing?
Tay, it was by the bar. I know that. It wasn't far from the bar.
And after you see him shooting, what do you do?
Like I said, I went to the back. We had to get up out of there, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people got up, a lot of us left, you know what I'm saying? Right after he fled, he left the scene. He left, Tate left. Next thing you know, all of us started leaving. And I seen the dude on the floor.
And did you see Tay run out of there?
Yeah, we was stuck. Yeah, we seen him.
You ran to the back where the dance floor is.
Yeah, I'm saying when the shots went off and the dude fell on the floor and all of that, Tate left.
You saw him leave?
Yeah, I saw him leave. Everybody saw him leave. That was by the bar in the area. But I ran to the back, you heard? I'm not gonna sit here and lie. He never did it.
Okay.
And there's other people in the street that know he ain't do it.
Does other people in the street know that Tay did it?
Yeah, it's a couple people that know he did it, but I don't know how they gonna I don't know how that's gonna work out.
Do these people know? Were these people actually there, or just the word on the street is that James didn't do it, and then this guy Tay did it?
It was people that was there.
Who actually saw?
Yeah. I told you it was a big party. It was a lot of people there.
All right.
Why don't you tell me what you remember from that night? First of all, why all of a sudden are you coming forward now? It's been, 12
because
years.
it just got brought to her attention that an appeal was going on. And like I told the detective earlier, I don't know why all the affidavits weren't gathered in the first case. Like, I don't know.
Right after the incident happened, did anybody contact you or anything? Like the police? Did you speak to the police or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Why don't you tell me, in your own words, what happened that night exactly?
We all came together, pretty much.
Okay.
A couple of us might have arrived a little bit later, but for the most part, we all came together. It was like a big group of us. It was a party for a guy named B.O. This party.
Okay.
But we were there. All of us came out because it was Daniel's birthday. We were celebrating his birthday.
So what time do you think you get to the party at?
Probably between 10 and 12.
Okay.
Anywhere between 10 and 12.
What's it called? And was James there too?
Yeah.
Drinking, smoking?
We was all dressed and everything.
Was he drinking?
Not when we were smoking. Before the party, no. And once we got to the party, he was drinking.
Did you know that if James had a girlfriend or not?
Yeah.
Was she there that night?
No.
How do you remember that?
Positive, because when he actually left, that's what he was supposed to be going to.
Okay.
Because he was drunk.
Okay. Then what do you remember happening?
I remember we us partying. James got hammered. Because he wasn't from drinking.
Was he a drinker?
No.
Okay, why? Was he drinking for any reason that night? Or?
His little brother, birthday celebration.
All right. And he wasn't a drinker?
No.
Okay.
That wasn't his thing.
All right.
Pothead to the core. But a drinker, no. So we in the party, we dancing, dubbing on females and stuff. Somebody came, Jay's leaving. And one of us leave, we all come, give him a pound. When we got there though, he drunk. He like, yo, I don't feel good. He looking at us, he's drunk. We laughing at him, ha, that's what you get. Long story short though, he left out in a cab. He left the party.
Did you see him leave?
He left.
How do you know he left?
He gave him a pound. He walked to the door.
But did you remember if anybody walked him to the door or saw him out?
I think it was Mel, little JAMEL, black.
Okay. And how was he when you gave him a pound? Like, how was he? Was he, like, standing on his feet fine or just a little,
Yo, fucked up. He was drunk. You get when you drunk.
What time do you think he left about?
Hour and a half to 2 hours after we got there.
Okay.
That's it. I go back on the dance floor, say probably like 45 minutes to an hour later, I hear, yo, we fighting. My people's like, yo, we fighting.
Who's saying we fighting?
I'm not sure who it was, exactly what voice I heard, but I know it was my people's. Yeah,
okay,
like, yo, we fighting. And I'm on the dance floor, I don't see no action going on,
Okay.
So I'm walking to go towards where the action is going on at.
Where's the action going on?
By the bar.
By the
altercation at
okay.
the bar. They're like, yo, we fighting.
Okay.
I'm going over there to get in the middle of the action. But before I could get to the dance floor to get to the action, gunshots. Pop, pop, pop.
How many you think?
I'm not sure. Probably like 6, 7.
All right. Did you see anything?
Which is crazy. We grabbed our coats, and as I'm exiting, I see the guy on the floor. I remember him. He had cornrows, dark-skinned dude, and I just remember him. That just etched in my memory. Like he just had a bullet hole dead in the middle of his forehead, with smoke just rising out of it. Like it was just rising, and that was the last thing I remember. We left. We went to we took JAMEL to James' grandma's crib because he didn't know how bad he was hurt. He thought it was bullshit. Like, no, I'm good. But then when we got to James' grandma's steps, he like blacked out.
And then when did you hear that James gets picked up for this?
I don't know. Months down the line.
Jamie, you're like, no way, he left already. Like, why didn't you come forward? Or why, you know what I'm saying?
We didn't know. We was ignorant about the law. We was young. We didn't know. We learned stuff through experience. We didn't know we could all come forward. I got a criminal case. A couple of us got criminal cases.
Did the family say anything to you? Like,
they ignorant too about criminal law. Like they don't know shit about criminal law. Criminals turn criminal through circumstance.
When they didn't contact any of you guys?
No, none of us, because we would have came forward. Why wouldn't we come forward? We know our man didn't do the crime. We would have all came forward.
And then, so nobody contacted you all these years?
No lawyer, no ADA, no nothing.
Okay, and how do you know James Davis?
He's a friend. We grew up in the same neighborhood.
Alrighty, so let's go back to the date in question, which is January 25th, 2004. Do you remember that date?
The older guys from around the neighborhood, they watched us grow up or whatever, but they was going to party. So being that it was Daniel's birthday, we would just say we'd go and celebrate at the party.
Got it,
you know
okay.
What I mean? I got there before James got there.
Where did you first see James?
I probably seen James. He probably came in the bathroom with us, started smoking. And James, he really not no drinker like that. So like he was just throwing it back. After a while, like we synced him, like he out of it, Like, yeah, you good, bro? He trying to, yeah, I'm good. But we like, nah, man, you out of it. You can't hang or whatever. And then we made him leave. He left.
But he was like, was he like falling over himself or
like out of it, like drunk, like he's not a drink, like he cannot hang, like he never could hang. But I guess he tried to overdo it because it was his brother's birthday. We made him leave like around 2.
Did anybody like take him like outside or anything?
He was with his girl. They got in the cab and they left.
How soon after James left did you hear this commotion?
Like probably like around like 3 something or something like that.
Did the lights come on before or after the whole altercation?
The lights came on before the whole altercation because, like as I was looking with the crowd and everything, after a while, everybody was in their face. Everybody was everybody was arguing. They was arguing.
So you're just hanging out here. All of a sudden, you see people gathering, and there's words. You hear it getting heated up there. Yeah. Do you hear what anybody's saying?
I'm trying to get out.
Right. What do you hear? Somebody
like somebody say like gun.
Okay.
And you just hear a couple shots.
And did you see anything?
I was really scared. Like I never seen nothing like that in my life.
Right.
It was crazy.
Okay.
Like people running over people. It got crazy.
Do you know somebody with the name Taggy or Taggy Hall?
Yeah, I know a Tag. I don't know no Tag.
What was his deal? Do you remember anything about him? Was he a troublemaker?
Yeah, like basically, like he wasn't like the person. Like he wasn't the person you want to get on his bad side. Yeah, he was trouble. Like he was not the one to really get on his bad side, like I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
I think somebody killed him.
Tay Hall's real name was Obadiah Taji Hall Ricks. In December of 1994, he was sentenced in Queens to 1.5 to 4.5 years for criminal possession of a weapon in the 3rd degree. He was released to parole in 2001. On July 28, 2004, Tay Hall was shot several times on Sumter Street, near the corner of Rockaway Avenue. He died on September 7, 2004. It is likely the 3 lineup witnesses selected James Davis because he was the only person in the lineup who resembled Tay Hall. We do know these 6 witnesses, Tina Black Sr., KANEEN, JAMEL, Jr., ISHMAEL, and Corey, provide a consistent narrative which demonstrates that James Davis left the party before the shooting took place. And all of their testimony corroborates exactly what James Davis told police about his movements when he was arrested back in 2004.